with cheering, rousing chorus, as round our blazing fires.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Woodbridge, the best town around, in the morning of the most fun day of the year in Woodbridge Township, which is the American Irish Association St. Patrick's Day Parade here in town. Let's hear it for the Irish. They say it's going to stop raining about 1. The parade kicks off at 1:30. Doesn't matter. You can't stop the Irish from marching down to Woodbridge, so it's going to be a great day regardless. Just watch out for puddles. Be very careful where you walk. And at this point, I would like to ask the official bagpiper of Woodbridge Township, Paul DeLeo, to please escort our honorees to the dais. For the invocation, please stay standing. I'd like to invite up Deacon William Lang from St. James Roman Catholic Church.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As we gather, it is a privilege that I get to gather with you every year for so many years now. And we come together in the spirit of St. Patrick. St. Patrick, as we know, is known for his devotion to the Trinity. We all know the story of using the shamrock to explain the Trinity to everyone. And in the Trinity, we know all the work is done by the Spirit. And the Spirit of St. Patrick and the Holy Spirit working among the Irish people is what we focus on today. And before I give the blessing, I have to acknowledge the personal experience with that spirit of devotion and dedication to community that I was able to share with this community this year. I want to thank the Irish American Association. Many of you know St. James began a tradition 2 years ago of the memorial Christmas trees. It's a lot of work to put them up, to put the lights on, to take them down. And most of that work this year, a good portion of that work was done by the blessed people in this Irish American Association. I thank you for that. And I thank St. Patrick and the Holy Spirit for inspiring you to gather today. So we pray, Lord God, we remember these great people today, the great gift of your Spirit working among the Irish people, not only through the witness of your St. Patrick, but through the witness of so many of your blessed people who called this beautiful creation, Ireland, the land of their birth and their ancestors. Filled with your Spirit and inspired by St. Patrick and all the nameless saints who have called Ireland their homeland, may we celebrate today with great joy and give you thanks for your many blessings upon Ireland, upon her children, and their many friends. And once again, I thank you for your blessing to our community here in Woodbridge. God bless.
Thank you, Deacon. You may be seated. Oh, and I'm sorry, the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm sorry. Behind us. Deb, would you please lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. And now I'd like to call on Mr. Paul DeLeo for a musical selection. Thank you, Paul. I'd now like to call up Deborah Hutchinson, the president of the American Irish Association of Woodbridge, to introduce the officers.
Good morning, dignitaries, members, and friends. Welcome to our 46th Annual St. Patrick's Day Parade. It's a pleasure to introduce my wonderful, hardworking board. Vice President Ed McSherry, Recording Secretary Dolores Boyd, Corresponding Secretary Jane Boble, Financial Secretary Karen Devlin, Treasurer Cindy Jakovich, Sergeant at Arms Jack Cassidy, and our directors Sean Keaveney, Joan Dias, Joan Ward, Ken Egan, John Reitman, and Barbara Lassick. My sincerest congratulations to our 2019 very deserving honorees. A very special thank you to our parade chair, Laura Jacobs, co-chair, co-chair Maureen Juergens, and the parade committee for their tireless commitment to ensure the success of this year's parade. A huge and heartfelt thank you to our mayor, John McCormick. Without the mayor's support and the effort of his administration, as well as members of the town council, Woodbridge PD, Office of Emergency Management, Parks and Recreation, the Community Center, the Heritage Commission, Middlesex County Board of Chosen Freeholders, Middlesex County Office of Arts and History, Merchants and Friends, our parade would not be the success that it is year after year. Of course, I would be remiss if I didn't recognize our dear founders, Michael McGovern and Joseph Jackson, for establishing such a fine association indeed. The American Irish of Woodbridge, the American Irish of Woodbridge has been and will continue to be a cornerstone of the community and the greatest club around. Let's have a fantastic parade. May the sun shine down upon us this afternoon, please God. And may that blustery wind be at our backs. Thank you and God bless.
Would anybody in the audience who's ever been a Grand Marshal, Irish Lady of the Year, Man of the Year, Miss American Irish or Lady in Waiting, please stand. Anybody who's been an honoree in the past? Wow. Quite a crowd, thank you. I'd like to introduce some of the dignitaries in the audience. Back there on the left is Board of Ed member Joe Velez. All the way in the corner, former councilman turned freeholder Charlie Kenny, Councilman at Large Brian Small, Second Ward Councilman Howie Bauer, Assemblywoman Yvonne Lopez, Assemblyman and Assembly Speaker Craig Coughlin, Board of Ed member Dan Harris, former Councilman Jim Carroll, and up behind me is former Councilman Ken Gardner. Anybody else in the audience who is an elected official? I don't see anybody. Okay, we got that covered. Now we would like to begin the process of recognizing the honorees. I'd first like to call up Mary Alice Jacko, the Grand Marshal of the 2019 St. Patrick's Day Parade. just read a small piece of the proclamation. Whereas Mary Alice Jacko honors her father, who carried the American Irish Association of Woodbridge banner as Grand Marshal of the 1989 St. Patrick's Day Parade and the first ever father-daughter combination, and stands as a 35-year member of the Irish Association, having served as officer, director, parade chairwoman, and contributing member, assisting in the coordination of the association's community and social events, charitable programs, and activities, and she was Miss American Irish in 1984. Congratulations, Mary Alice Jacko.
Thank you. So I didn't prepare a speech. That's not me, so I'm going to wing it real quick. I just want to say thank you to this amazing organization. I have, like the mayor said, been a member for 35 years, and I absolutely love it. And I have my children here with me today who share in this with me, and my brother, who it's so odd for me to be on this end and not at the end putting the parade on the street, and it's hard for me not to do that. So, but I'd like to say thank you. It is a great honor to follow in my dad's footsteps. He loved this organization and was so proud to be a member of it. So thank you to everyone. Thank you to the mayor and everybody in the American Irish.
I'm not as worried about the rain today as I am the fact that Mary Alice is not going to be in there helping organize the parade. Now that could be more of a situation for us. I'd now like to call your brother. Yeah, you got George, you got everybody. I'd now like to call up the Irish Lady of the Year, Susan Crawford. Whereas Susan Crawford, the third child born to parents Art and Marge Crawford, who was the Irish Lady of the Year back in 2006, traces her Irish roots and heritage to Irish grandparents, Susan Vaughan from Ballyvaughan, who married John Sullivan from County Cork, and great-grandparents hailing from Solohead in County Tipperary, and has upheld her Irish heritage and culture by bringing a greater awareness of Irish traditions to the Woodbridge Township community. And Susan Crawford, a lifelong resident of the Forge section of town, has maintained active participation in the American Irish Association through her years of service as chair of the Hospitality Committee, member of the St. Patrick's Day Parade and Scholarship Committees, and volunteer service in many association community programs and charitable endeavors. Ladies and gentlemen, Susan Crawford.
Okay. I'm a little nervous, believe it or not. But anyway, first of all, I am so happy and honored to be standing here today. Now, I want to thank my family who came out today for me, my brother Frank, who came from Florida. He's also a member of this club. He's a long-distance member, but he's a member. I also want to, I know my mom, my dad, and my brother are looking down and are very happy and are happy for me today. And I know they're not here physically, but they're here spiritually with me, because they were charter members. With the McGoverns and the Jacksons, they did start this club. So I feel that I'm a charter member too, because you could ask my brothers and sisters. We were to all these parades, the Christmas parties, so and they would be so happy to see how this club has really prospered, all the members now that they have, and that here I'm so active with it too. I want to thank the members of the American Irish for nominating me on this. It was my pleasure to be head of hospitality. I really enjoyed it. I enjoy all the things that this great club does. Helping the feeding the poor, feeding the poor and coining. And Sheila and Jill, they do such a great job, and I'll be out there again this year. Okay, and so on that note, I just want to thank everyone who come join me today, march down that, hopefully the sun will come out, and happy St. Patrick's Day, and I love you all.
I just stepped on her toe, we weren't even dancing. Irish Man of the Year 2019, Ken Gardner. Whereas Ken Gardner traces his Irish heritage to the Gardner-Rogan family with roots in Dublin and to his Irish uncle and aunt Charlie and Elizabeth Fitzpatrick, and has upheld his Irish heritage through family traditions. And whereas Ken Gardner, a lifelong resident of Woodbridge Township, stands as a contributing member of the American Irish Association of Woodbridge, having served as president, director, St. Patrick's Day Parade, and publicity chairman, and has volunteered service with association community programs. He's been a former councilman. He's active with the St. James PTO. He's active with the fire company of Woodbridge, a true community servant. Ladies and gentlemen, Ken Gardner.
So the bad news is that we are in the town council chambers, and if you don't think I'm talking, I mean, come on. The good news is that Connie O'Donnell reminds me that I'm much nicer than I used to be when he was Jim McGreevy's campaign manager 30 years ago. You know, this is such an honor, and I first want to just talk about, our friend Laura just ran a program and asked for young pictures of us. And I found this picture when I went to my old album. It's me in a fireman's uniform as a kid. Now, I was born in 1966, and I asked my wife this morning about how old do you think I was in this picture, and she said 8 years old. So if you add 66, 8 years, it takes you to 1974, a great year. The parade chairman was Justin McCarthy, our first St. Patrick's Day parade. My grandfather and my uncles were firemen, so my family always came out to the parade. When I joined the fire company as Councilman Bauer and small freeholder Charlie Kenny can tell you it's a great day for the fire companies as well, a great camaraderie. So then, let me just skip a little bit forward, and Tom Henderson can really relate to this story. It's 1997, I get elected fire chief. It's our 100th anniversary, so we've got 40 guys in their dress blues looking great. I put on the white hat, we go to the staging area. The alarm goes off. There's a fire at Sharon Gardens. We get to the firehouse at 6 p.m. Missed the parade. Tom Henderson, unfortunately, got rained out the year of his parade. But that makes it a little bit more special for me this year. So to the American Irish Association and the parade committee, you're healing that wound, so to speak. I really looked forward to that day my whole life because my grandfathers and uncles had led. So to be Irishman of the Year and be part of the leadership of the parade is really a great opportunity. And last but not least, I've talked in the past about my Uncle Charles Fitzpatrick. I was his sidekick for years. What a great Irishman he was. My grandfather, George Gardner, there was nobody more proud to be Irish than he was. But to save the best for last, back in the days when I was in the council chambers or at things at the church or the firehouse, you win some and you lose some. So when I went home, whether it was for a victory or because I had a bloody nose from a little bit of a fight or disagreement we got in, the beautiful Janine was always there to give me a great smile and welcome me home. After the victories, I got a great hug and a kiss. After the defeats, she wiped my bloody nose, gave me a hug, and supported me in the many causes that I believed were important to Woodbridge. So I'm blessed to have a wonderful family, great children. Rebecca, former Miss American Irish. My son Kenny, founding member of the Young American Irish of Woodbridge. I'm supporting Jessica Jacko for president of that group. Really a great group of kids that are following and keep this parade alive for years to come. And although maybe this is a little bit more of a prayer than a saying this year, like the warmth of the sun and the light of the day, may the luck of the Irish shine bright on our way. Let's march.
Okay, next up, Miss American Irish 2019, Erin Cahill. Whereas Erin Cahill is a senior class student at Edison High School, participating in the General Studies program as an all-A honor student, member of the Student Council and Peer Leadership Club, photographer for the high school yearbook, and two-sport varsity athletes, softball and swimming, and maintains her commitment to the Woodbridge Township Irish community through her participation with the club. Ladies and gentlemen, Erin Cahill.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, I want to start by saying how grateful I am to be standing up here today. I've been in this parade since I was in my mom's belly, and 18 years later, I'm presented as Miss American Irish. It's the most exciting thing to be following my sister's footsteps. I want to thank my family and friends for helping me prepare for this, and most of all, Mayor McCormick and the American Irish Association for putting this whole parade together. Lastly, congratulations to all my fellow honorees. I'm super blessed to be standing up here with you all today. Everyone, enjoy your day, and like Barbra Streisand sang, please do not rain on my parade.
That's the line of the day so far. Irish Lady in Waiting 2019, Grace Fisher. Grace Fisher, a junior class student at Roselle Catholic High School in the Honors AP program, is a member of the Student Council, Art Club, Glee Club, Drama Club, Retreat Team, and Campus Ministry, as well as manager for the boys volleyball team and varsity MVP for the girls volleyball team. She serves as an altar girl at St. James the Apostle Church and volunteers to assist in parish activities and participates in all events. Ladies and gentlemen, Grace Fisher.
Not to worry, guys. I wrote a speech this time. So good morning, and thank you so much for coming out. I'd like to start by thanking my family, who I never, ever forget. And to the people that came out, I always knew you were my favorite. Being lady in waiting for this event has given me the chance to meet so many great people and to make some amazing memories, and I look forward to doing more of both today. However, I wouldn't be able to do that if it weren't for the efforts of the American Irish Association of Woodbridge and my fabulous Aunt Laura. They've worked so hard to set this fabulous event up, and I'm sure it's going to be a success. And for giving me this opportunity, thank you so much. Kira's hoping for some great weather, and if not, let's step in some puddles and have fun. Have a nice day, guys. Oh, jeez. Do I just take it? I'm really feeling that height advantage.
Yes. All right, she just read her speech from her phone.
I'm sorry, I forgot to write it out.
How many of us could do that? Anybody except maybe you and Aaron, the only two to know how to do that with your phone. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Do
I take this?
Yes.
Thanks.
And now our final proclamation goes to Laura Jacobs, the chairwoman of the St. Patrick's Day Parade 2019. Laura Jacobs, the proud eldest daughter of John Patrick McGurk, County Tyrone, and Maureen Rannigan McGurk, County Cork, has upheld her Irish heritage and culture by bringing greater awareness of Irish traditions to the Woodbridge Township community. And whereas Laura Jacobs, a longtime resident of Colonia, has dedicated her life to assisting the special needs community, service as a volunteer at St. John Vianney Church, participation as a member of the Irish Club Parade Committee, member of Tooling Around the Township, and various association community programs and charity endeavors. Laura Jacobs.
I do have paper. First of all, it's an honor to be up here with such amazing honorees today. They've done so much for so many. So thank you for allowing me to be the chairwoman while you are here. I would like to say a few words about feeling blessed. The first order, as Mayor said, to Maureen Rannigan and John Patrick McGurk in Brooklyn on a warm Father's Day many years ago when Irish eyes were smiling. I knew I was blessed, for in my family, many of whom are here today, my two sisters, Teresa and Eileen, and their families. So in our family, we were taught love, laughter, morals, respect, and friendship. I have also found this in the American Irish Association. I feel honored and blessed to be standing in front of you as this year's St. Patrick's Day Parade chairwoman. But in no way can this be done alone, or even with a few. It takes a great many to bring this amazing parade to light. First, I would like to thank Karen Devlin, last year's chairwoman, who lit the way, answered all my questions, and put up with my many calls. Thank you. Second, to my co-chair, Maureen Kelly Jerrigan, who said yes. Thank you for all your help and your support. It meant a great deal to me. Thank you. And to the parade committee, who stepped up and worked very hard on a moment's notice and even on Sunday nights, I'd like to ask the parade committee at this time to please stand and turn around so we can give you a round of applause that you deserve. Can all of the committee please stand? Thank you. I am blessed to live in the best town around. We are extremely grateful for the support of the Honorable Mayor John McCormick, the Township Council, the Woodbridge Police Department, the Woodbridge Parks and Recreation Department, as well as the Woodbridge Civilian Emergency Response Team and the OEM personnel, in which significantly make our St. Patrick's Day Parade a huge success. Thank you. To my two biggest blessings, my son and my daughter. My son is at work, he'll be here later. And my daughter, Andrew and Michelle. You are my greatest achievements that I have ever accomplished, and I love you to the moon and back. Now, anyone that knows me knows that it isn't often you see me standing alone. I am often next to a very special someone. This someone is my one and only husband, Larry. While working as chairwoman, he made the meals, he helped me whenever I needed it. When the computer went down and I started freaking out, he fixed it. And he even put up with me being on the phone about parade business during dinners or late into the evening. When I became stressed, you were my rock. I love you. And to everyone, let's go out there and make this the best St. Patrick's Day parade and post-parade party at the Woodbridge Community Center ever. It'll be Irish fun for everyone. Thank you.
So when I said asked all the honorees, past honorees to stand up, and Laura just asked all the parade people to stand up, this whole side of the room stood up both times. So everybody who's been involved with this club, it just continues to be involved in this club, and it's a terrific organization. You heard so many people say thank the mayor, thank the council, thank the town. I admit we help and we do whatever we can. The Main Street will look like there was never a parade an hour after it's over. Our public works guys and parks guys are that good. But this organization is who runs the parade, the American Irish Association. It's your parade. We are the ones that have done this. I talk all the time about iconic events in town. You know, we're known for the street fair. We're known for the Senior Olympics. We're known for our concerts. We are known for the St. Patrick's Day Parade, and that was the first of all the iconic events in Woodbridge Township. And we're so proud to be able to help this organization continue the tradition and have this terrific event. I'd now like to ask Assembly Speaker Craig Coughlin and Assemblywoman Yvonne Lopez if you'd like to say a few words.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's so delightful to be here. I've been coming to this celebration for 3 to 4 years now, and I always say the same story. First, I want to congratulate everyone as we gather today to celebrate the rich culture and heritage of the Irish community. I come from also an Irish family, so my daughter's married to an Irishman, and my sisters are all married to Irishmen, so I take a lot of pleasure in seeing my nephews and nieces when we come together as a family, running around with that beautiful smile. And, you know, so I am Puerto Rican, and so we have that mix of Latin and Irish, and I just love it. And really, it fills my heart. So, yeah, let's enjoy the parade. And like it was said before, we know it's not going to rain, right? The sun is going to come out, but bring your umbrella just in case. And thank you so very much for having me, and I will introduce you to Speaker Coughlin. Thank you.
Thanks, Yvonne. Good morning, everybody. It's always a pleasure to be here as we kick off, well, as we sort of bring an end to the Irish season. You know, for all of us who get to go to these events, I think I've been to 6 Irish events starting at the end of January. You have to really admire the Irish. We took a day, and we've turned it into a season. And frankly, halfway to St. Patrick's Day in October, it's kind of kicking the crap out of Columbus Day. So, sorry to all my Italian constituents, including my wife. But it's always a pleasure to be here to congratulate the honorees. And how impressive are they? How impressive are those young ladies? Aren't they really tremendously impressive? Aaron and Grace. Grace, you have a tremendous voice. I'm going to hear you on the radio someday, I got to tell you. But Mary Alice and Susan and Ken, the commitment that you bring to this organization and to this community is visible and well-deserved honors. Thank you. Congratulations on that. I can tell you, you guys were kind enough to honor me and let me be the Grand Marshal a few years ago. It's a really big deal. It really is. So enjoy the day. Soak it all in. It's a very special time. It's a great day for a party. Thanks for all your work, Laura, Maureen, and Debbie. Great leadership as always. It's going to be a terrific celebration. The mayor, it's not really raining. The mayor is doing a massive street cleaning, so that it looks incredibly perfect. We get there, and we're going to welcome the governor, I guess, later on this afternoon. So thanks, everybody, for coming out. Thanks for being Irish and having a great time each and every time we get together, and congratulations to everybody. Let's get on with the rest of the day, right? Thanks.
We do have one other special guest. He's a member of our club, and he was named the Grand Marshal of the Newark St. Patrick's Day Parade, which I believe is the largest parade in the actual whole state of New Jersey. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean O'Neill in the back. And now I'd like to call back up Deacon William Lang for our benediction.
As always, when we get to this point, I am overwhelmed and inspired by the love and the sense of community and the spirit and the traditions of our Irish culture. I'll remind particularly the ladies seem to carry this one that might have been forgotten. As my sainted mother taught me, Mary Frances, if you want it to be a clear, sunny day, you put the Virgin in the window. So take a few minutes, run home and do that, will you please? I love to keep up with tradition, and in fact, I start passing the tradition on this St. Patrick's Day to my first grandson, Landon John William. Thank you. And the reason why I'm talking so much about tradition, there's a traditional Irish blessing I generally use here, but I'm going to mess with the tradition a little bit and change some of the words. So, may the raindrops fall lightly on your brow and not at all between 1 and 5 today. May the soft winds freshen your spirit. May the sunshine brighten your heart. May the burdens of the day rest lightly upon you, and may God enfold you in the mantle of his love. May the strength of God pilot us. May the wisdom of God instruct us. And may the hand of God protect us. May the word of God direct us and be always with us on this day and forevermore as we bring the spirit of the Irish and St. Patrick to the community of Woodbridge. God bless you all.
So we spoke to Deb before that we started this morning. We agreed that we would do both anthems inside and then just go outside, have a very quick flag raising, and run across the bidding so no one had to stand outside in the rain for too long. So at this point, I'd like to call up Glenn Slavin, our official Irish tenor.
I would have sung in the rain just for the record. Could we all stand and honor America with the singing of our national anthem? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say doth that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. And so we may honor our cultural homeland. Please join me in the singing of the Soldier's Song. I'll sing you a song, a soldier's song, with cheering, rousing chorus. As round our blazing fires we throng, the starry heavens o'er us, impatient for the coming fight. And as we wait the morning light, here in the silence of the night, we'll chant a soldier's song. Soldiers are we, whose lives are pledged to Ireland. Some have come from a land beyond the wave, sworn to be free. No more our ancient Ireland shall shelter a despot or the slave. Tonight we'll man the Barnawell, in Erin's cause come woe or weal. Mid cannons roar and rifles peal, we'll chant a soldier's song. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's all have a great day.